Welcome to Daily Variety, your daily dose of news and analysis for entertainment industry insiders. It's Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. I'm your host, Cynthia Littleton. I am co-editor-in-chief of Variety alongside Ramin Satuda. I'm in LA, he's in New York, and Variety has reporters around the world covering the business of entertainment. In today's episode, we have a special guest. Eva Longoria joins us to talk about her new FX docu-series, Necaxa, and she talks about her 2-year-old content venture, Hyphenate Media Group. And then we'll hear from Variety TV news editor Joe Otterson about the return of King of the Hill. But before we get to that, here are a few headlines just in this morning that you need to know. Say hello to Howdy. Roku has unveiled plans to launch a low-cost, ad-free streamer dubbed Howdy. They'll charge $2.99 a month. Meanwhile, Fox has set August 21st as the launch date for its Fox One streaming service that will incorporate Fox News, Fox Business, Fox Sports, all for $19.99 a month. Ad giant WPP and Nielsen have set a long-term audience measurement pact. This is another sign of tensions easing between Nielsen and its biggest constituencies in advertising and television. And out today is Variety's review of FX's Alien Earth. In a nutshell, we like it. Our critic Allison Herman weighs in. Now we turn to a conversation with Eva Longoria about her new sports-docu series Necaxa, which bows Thursday on FX. Eva is one of the industry's busiest multi-hyphenates. We talk about her move to invest in sports, how she fell in love with a soccer club in need of a little TLC, and we talk about how she's building Hyphenate Media Group with her business partner, Cris Abrego. But first, I'll let Eva set the scene for Necaxa with a clip from the show's trailer.
My commitment to Necaxa, it's about culture. I want to show the beauty of the Mexican people.
Gracias por venir y fuerza rayos!
This idea that one day you can be an underdog and the next day you're building a football empire. And now, Rob and Ryan are here for the fun.
How did the opportunity for you to become an investor in Club Necaxa, how did that come about?
I dipped my toe into soccer investing with Angel City, and I had such a good time. Angel City for Los Angeles was a very specific project led by Natalie Portman, Julie Ehrman, who wanted to prove that female owners could run a female team in female sports. Like, it was a really good pilot program. So when Al Tilas and Sam Porter came to me, they invest in undervalued leagues or undervalued teams in huge leagues. They have a cricket team in India. They have a rugby team in New Zealand. And they came and they said, we want to do La Liga Mexicana, because they said there's so much value in the Mexican league. The amount of eyeballs that watch outside of the Premier League, outside of the Champions League, the amount of people that watched La Liga Mexicana was insane. They have a very Moneyball approach. Like, if we do this, if we do that, if we invest this much and put these people, they're very data-driven, statistic-driven. And I'm like the opposite. I'm emotional driven. I don't invest in things. I invest in people. And I fell in love with Al. I fell in love with Sam. And I said, these are guys I want to be in business with. And anytime I have an opportunity to elevate what people think of Mexico, the beauty of Mexico, anytime I can elevate the idea of the talent that comes out of Mexico, the culture that comes out of Mexico, I jump at it. It's what drives me and my purpose as a producer, as a director. It's the stories I want to tell. And so I thought, yeah, sign me up. I would love to invest.
Did you go in with the idea that this could be a television show like Welcome to Wrexham has been for FX and has incredible impact on that town in Wales?
No. I went in as purely as an investor. But the minute I set foot in Aguascalientes, which is where we are based, Aguascalientes is about an hour away from Mexico City. So it's very central Mexico. I thought, this is a TV show. The town is a character. The family that runs the team are amazing human beings. The players, the coaches, the staff. Like, I immediately saw a TV show. It wasn't until later that we brought in Rob and Ryan. We started developing the TV show outside of the Wrexham world. And by chance, my investment group with Al and Sam decided to invest with Wrexham. And so we invested in Wrexham, and in turn, they invested in us. And Al was like, "You got to meet Rob and Ryan. They're amazing." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I love what they did with Wrexham." I thought, if there's anybody who knows how to do this, it's Rob and Ryan. I knew we were going to have a show because you can't script what happens. We've been through coaches. We've been through management changes. We sold our star player. We got him back. It is insane, the emotion and the drama. Like, you can't script it.
What did you learn about Mexican culture from immersing yourself in the world of Mexican football?
I learned that soccer is a national language. I mean, it is not Spanish. Spanish is not the nation's language in Mexico. It is soccer. And going into it, I had a couple of fears. One was that I'm Mexican American. I'm American by nationality. And I thought, oh God, I hope they accept me. And I was also nervous as a woman in a man's sport, as one of the few. I think I'm only the second female soccer team owner in Mexico. And I thought, oh God, I hope they accept me for that too. And then, the reason I say soccer is a national language is because nobody cares about that. Nobody can. They care. What are you doing for the team? How are we going to win championships? And so I've been welcomed with open arms.
Your investment in Necaxa has come at a time when you're also building a very significant media company, Hyphenate Media with Cris Abrego. How has that been for you? And what does building Hyphenate tell you about where the real traction is in television, in media, in film?
Cris and I have been friends for 23 years. We both had amazing success individually. And we thought, why are we the exception with our community, with the Latino community? And we really wanted to join forces and change the way business is done with Hyphenate Media. We both wanted to break up the business model. He's one of the best producers I know. And I feel like you can't do the executive side without being a producer. And I feel that way as an actor. Like, I think the reason I love directing is because I've been on the other side of the lens. We invested in Glow Nation, led by the incredible Gloria Calderon-Kellett. She's a force of nature. She can write 4 shows in one time. She can break out stories. She creates characters. She's brilliant. And she taps into the cultural knowledge of what it means to be a Latino in this industry. We made a deal with iHeartRadio for podcasting to support and produce other creators that have the same vision. We're building out now our next phase of Hyphenate Media, continuing in the scripted space, of course. Just some exciting things. We really saw a white space, and we wanted to build this new business and new verticals to support this culture-defining, creator-led stories.
You have a Netflix movie project coming up through Hyphenate, The Fifth Wheel with Kim Kardashian. Where are you in that stage?
We're waiting for prep to begin. The Fifth Wheel is written by Paula Pell, who is one of the most respected cool kids of comedy writers out there today. And so when I read the script and I said, oh my God, it was such a unique, one-of-a-kind story about female friendship. And then I heard Kim was going to play one of the parts. And I thought, oh my God, that's genius. Because once you read the script, you go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's hilarious.
Now we'll hear from Joe Otterson, Variety's TV news editor. He's a longtime friend of Hank and Peggy Hill of Arlen, Texas. Joe Otterson, thanks for joining me.
Hello, glad to be here.
I know you to be a big King of the Hill fan for a long time. And so, of course, you were the perfect person as this beloved animated Fox comedy is coming back to life in a new form, new platform for Hulu. What surprised you as you did your reporting on this feature?
Honestly, what surprised me the most was how good the new episodes really were and how consistent the tone was with the original show while also updating it and bringing it into the present day. Because we've talked about this a lot with reboots, revivals. One day we're going to have a summit at Variety to officially declare what defines a reboot and what defines a revival.
We'll etch it on a stone tablet and no one will ever deviate.
But no, what really surprised me was how consistently good it was after such a long layoff, because that show went off the air in 2009. And reboots and revivals these days are obviously a huge part of the Hollywood landscape. And it's a very, very, very fine line to walk if you're really going to do it well. We've seen it happen a million times. Everyone gets all excited. They're bringing back all these cast members and some of the original creative team. And then it flares up for a couple of episodes. Everyone watches the first couple and then they realize it's not as good as it once was and they stop watching. So to be able to bring something like this into the present day, keep it consistent with the original show while also updating it with the humor, the storylines, everything, that was really surprising in the best way possible, I would say.
It really is true that even more than The Simpsons, King of the Hill really was a slice of life of America with a wry sense of humor and a beer on the side. We just kind of drop back into the lives 20 years later of Hank and Peggy Hill and their extended family in Arlen, Texas, and hilarity and real life ensues. And you're saying that they've adapted that to capturing all of the crazy of 2025 pretty well.
I was thinking about that a lot too. Like, what was it that made this show so successful, aside from the fact that it's wildly funny and had an incredible cast? I mean, it had a lot going for it, but what in particular, like that indefinable it? In talking with Mike Judge, he brought that up, this idea of authenticity. You talked about The Simpsons, there's Family Guy, there's South Park, Futurama, etc. King of the Hill stands out in the fact that those other shows, and this is not to be derogatory toward them at all, but they're very cartoony. Right? Like the classic, like you can whack somebody in the head with a frying pan and then they pop right back up.
Hanna-Barbera 101.
But King of the Hill was very different in that it was very true to life, despite the fact that it was an animated show. And people still loved the show, and it came out originally almost 30 years ago.
There's much more detail in your story, which has fantastic art, as you would expect for a feature on an animated series. I want to button up by asking you, reboots and remakes all over the place, and they'd had a rocky time at the box office. What are you seeing on the TV side?
Yeah, it's not as strong a part of the TV side as it was a few years ago, but it's still definitely a major factor. I just always say, the wave has kind of crashed at this point, but that doesn't mean there's still not more to come, because a lot of this stuff has been in development now for years. It's very much a question of trying to walk that fine line and also not overdoing it and oversaturating it. I think that's a big problem you've had with things like Marvel or Star Wars in the last several years. Is it used to be an event. Now you get one every month practically. When you have infinite access to this sort of thing, then it stops being special.
Joe, thank you as ever. Remind us when this show premieres.
King of the Hill is back for season 14. All 10 episodes drop on Hulu on August 4th.
Well said. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
As we close out today's show, here are a few things we're watching for. We'll be up early tomorrow for Disney earnings before the bell. Warner Brothers Discovery goes Thursday morning, just as the Paramount Skydance Media transaction is expected to close. On Friday, we'll start tracking the latest wide releases. Freakier Friday from Disney and Weapons from Warner Brothers hit the multiplexes this weekend. As football season approaches, I personally am looking forward to checking out the latest season of HBO's Hard Knocks. It premieres tonight. The show is in training camp with the Buffalo Bills this season. Go Bills! Before we go, congrats to Emily Thorpe-Jones. She's joined UTA's London office to head up corporate and private events for the music division. She comes to the agency from various artist management, where she headed brand and corporate strategies. Thanks for listening. Today's episode was written by me, Cynthia Littleton, with contributions from Eva Longoria and Joe Otterson. It was edited by Aaron Greenwald. Sticks, Nicks, Hick Picks. Please leave us a review at the podcast platform of your choice, and please tune in tomorrow for another episode of Daily Variety.
Searching for a series, that's been so much fun. We did Searching for Mexico. We did Searching for Spain. I just wrapped Searching for France. Now we have Necaxa. I'm eating and drinking my way through the world, so it's not a bad gig.